Hello, welcome to Rando Tech Info, and today we are talking about the Xiaomi 13 Pro and whether or not it will work on your US carrier's network. The release of the Chinese version of the 13 series happened back in December, but the global versions have just started to make their way into consumers' hands recently in March of 2023, and it's those versions of the phone that we are talking about today. Now, throughout this video, we will be referencing the 13 Pro because that is the phone most people are probably going to be the most interested in. But just so you know, both the base model of the 13 and Pro can utilize the same frequency bands. So what I say about the network compatibility about either phone will apply to both. Also be aware that frequency compatibility is not the same with the Lite version of the phone. So if you are interested in knowing the compatibility of that device, let me know down in the comments, and if enough people request it, I will make a separate video about that phone.
Very nice.
The Pro version of the phone comes packing everything you would expect from a Xiaomi flagship. You have Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, a gorgeous screen, capable cameras with the standout feature being the 1-inch sensor on the primary lens, and a 4,820 mAh battery with 120 watt charging and 50 watt wireless charging with a charger that actually comes in the box. Now, while all of this sounds pretty great, it looks like the Xiaomi 13 series is not going to be sold here in the US. Even though on Xiaomi's website it looks like they ship to the US, when you try to check out, it's a no-go. So that means to get the phone over here, you're going to have to use a third-party seller, and that usually voids the warranty. So if you get the phone over here and it doesn't work,
you're screwed.
The next thing you need to know is that US network carriers are getting more and more prickly about what phones they are allowing to get on and stay on their networks. So just because your shiny new imported phone works on your network today doesn't necessarily mean it will work tomorrow. But if you still want to know the likelihood of the Xiaomi 13 Pro working on your network, watch on. And if you wind up finding this video to be useful, then giving this video a thumbs up would be most appreciated.
It's the least I can do.
Starting with Verizon, Verizon almost never allows devices it doesn't certify onto its network. And since the 13 Pro won't be certified, you are almost certainly out of luck here. If by some miracle you do get the phone activated on Verizon, you should actually get some decent 4G and 5G coverage, as the phone's antennas are able to utilize all of Verizon's 4G frequency bands and 4 out of 7 of their 5G frequency bands, which includes some of their mid-range C-band 5G. But once again, since it is very unlikely Verizon will even activate the phone, I still wouldn't recommend bringing one over. Sadly, the story is very similar with AT&T. The phone is capable of using 6 out of 9 of AT&T's 4G bands, and it can make use of 3 out of 5 of their 5G bands. But AT&T doesn't allow uncertified phones on its 5G network, and if you take the time to peruse the comments of my previous videos about Xiaomi devices, you will find that a lot of people have had trouble getting their devices to work at all on AT&T's network. So once again, if you are on AT&T, it's hard to recommend bringing this device over. Now, the news is at least slightly more rosy if you're on T-Mobile. T-Mobile has been kicking some phones off its network that don't utilize its voice over LTE, and it is uncertain whether or not the 13 Pro will be able to do so. Now, in the past, some T-Mobile users have apparently been able to get the Xiaomi 12 Pro to work on their network just fine. Other folks, not so much. So it really does seem kind of like a roll of the dice. If you do get the phone activated and working on T-Mobile's network, you should be able to get some pretty good coverage, with the phone being able to make use of 5 out of 6 of T-Mobile's 4G frequency bands. And the phone has the hardware to use T-Mobile's mid-band and sub-6 5G frequency bands. So once again, if you can get the phone working properly on T-Mobile, it should work well. Now, after hearing what you just heard, if you are still a brave enough soul to try to bring this phone over here, please feel free to come back here and let us know down in the comments where you live and how well the phone is working for you. That way we can all learn from each other and make more informed buying decisions. As always, I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching, and until next time, this is Rando Tech Info, signing out.